Alright, in this video we'll see how to create a business listing plugin, and this listing plugin actually list all the businesses. Now you can see Zenith Construction, Skynet Digital Agency, Greenleaf Agro, Tech Nova Solution. So these are the companies, and it is separated in such a way that one of them is outside India and one is from India. You can see type India and type outside, and listing the employees count along with the location. So New Delhi, Mumbai, Chandigarh, and the Pune. Now these are getting listed with the help of shortcode. You can see just by listing this, pasting this shortcode, you'll see this HTML getting rendered. Now I'll show you how to add a business. So let's see, we have a business called Cloudify IT Services, and it's in India, and number of employees 200, and location is Karnataka. And I'm going to set a feature image, so let's set this. And if you want this to show at the third level, 12012, so let me just make this 2, and if you click on publish, and this is enough to show your listing on this particular page. Now we have our Cloudify IT solution got listed. So Karnataka we have entered, and number of employees 200. So along with this, what we are going to see is, if I click on business listing, you'll see the custom table that gets listed. And in this table, WordPress usually allows two things. The first one is business name, and the second one is date. The business name is nothing but the title, and the date is the published date. And along with these, you'll see the featured image, you'll see the type, you'll see the employee count, you see the location. These are what custom field, which in other word you can say Metaboxes. And these Metaboxes can be displayed, and with the help of a custom code that we'll see in this video. Now to conclude, we have a custom post type called business listing. We have a meta box. Once I click on add post, you'll see the meta box, business type, number of employee, location, and you'll see WP list table. So the customized WP list table you see here. We'll see how to create this, and finally the shortcode. This shortcode will let you add the sorry HTML in the page where you have added the shortcode. So first thing, let's deactivate the current plugin so that we write the code. For we need to create a folder in plugins folder. I have set up WordPress locally, and this is a plugin folder. I'm going to name it as listing listing, and inside listing we need a PHP file similar to our folder name. Listing.php would work. And I have deactivated it. Now we need the metadata for these, like the word plugin name, plugin description, plugin version, and plugin author name. So let's do that. And this is a plugin name, and the description, and we have version number, and then the author name. And this is enough. You'll see UI Monk business listing. And now I want the CPT to show up, so I'll use the init hook, and I'll add the business listing custom post type. Now we have a init hook, and when the init is called, this function would get executed, and I'm registering the custom post type, and I'm making the label as UI Monk listing. UI Monk, and the singular name is also this one, and this is making sure that we want our custom post type to be displayed on the front end with the help of shortcode, so that's why it's true. And the icon, and in the custom post type I want title, I want thumbnail, and I want page attribute. Page attribute, as of now, if you leave it as it is, it doesn't matter. Now I'm saying this show in REST API. So when I make this show in REST API, you'll see the custom post type will be the current version. There are two versions of WordPress editor, classic editor and REST API editor. Now if I make this false, you'll see the classic editor. So if I activate, I see UI Monk listing. If I click on listings, you'll simply see two things. The first one is title, and the second one is featured image. Now what I need is I want metadata metaboxes to display it. And now for the metaboxes we want some HTML fields, like we want radio button, we want text field, we want again text field. So when I save and I want to retrieve the data that got saved, so that's why all the saved data will be in WP post meta. So to query the WP post meta, what we do is we simply use the function get post meta, and we'll pass the post ID and the key. So these are the key, and these key has a value, and that value will be either India inside or outside, or you'll see input type, the location, and then you'll find the number of employees. So whatever you type here, it's actually the location, sorry, it's actually the value for these keys. Now if I refresh it, you'll see those meta boxes appear. So before that we have a handle, so this is a handle that we need to link it to the meta box. So this meta box belongs to this CPT. So that's only when you will see the input field, and you see it's working. So when I save, what I want is I want these data to get saved. So for that, when I save, there is a hook called save post. We have to activate that. So when there is a save post, so this save post hyphen, this is a post type name, and we are getting the value. Since it's post, we are submitting the value. The value can be accessed with the help of post super global variable, and I'm storing it in the PHP variable, and these PHP variable has a act as a value for the key. So these are the keys similar to the key which we have used over here, and we'll use these key, and with the help of update we'll simply update these value into the database. So in the database you'll find WP post meta where these values are stored. So let's insert the first one. It's in India, number of employees, location, and I'm setting the featured image. Let's just choose this, and if you click on publish, since get post meta is set, even after it gets saved, that value gets refreshed. Now if I even after refresh, you'll see those values stays. Now we'll get into the list table. Since title and data only shows, we'll use the hook called manage. You see this business listing -2 is actually the CPT, and post column is the hook manage underscore the custom post type name underscore post underscore column. Now I'm returning the array. Once we have these array, you'll see type, employee, location, and image shows up. Now we need to again use a hook to retrieve these value from the meta boxes. Let's do that. Since we already know how to retrieve it, let's just call the post type name CPT2, and here we have custom column, here we have post column. That's the only difference, everything else is same. If the value is thumbnail then get the post meta thumbnail. If the value is type, then use the get post meta and retrieve the value. This is true because we just want one value, that's why it's true. And if I refresh, you will see the custom field value gets displayed, and actually the 2 will come over here because it's the CPT name. Cool. Now what we need, now it's time for the shortcode. I want a input field over here that I need to add with the help of restrict manage post. Now I want the HTML to be displayed, so I'll use those HTML. You'll see I'm sorry, restrict manage post, and the type name, custom post type name is this, and this is edit.php, and if these matches, then you'll see the 3 input field over here: business name, location, and employee. So these are coming from this HTML, and if I type something, and that value will get displayed on the table. So for that we need to customize the post get free post. So these values, these hook actually runs once your WP query is set. when your WP query is set and you want some modification on the WP query data, you use this free get post. Now I'm checking whether this is edit.php and either this is the actual post type, and I would be getting the value whatever I type here, since this is the name, business name, and these will get appended on the URL. You'll see post type action, and you'll see business underscore name underscore search, business name search. Actually, this is one business name, and get the value, which is what we have written. So what we have written is Technova, and this is the post variable, and here Technova. So the value gets accessed over here, and it does some query. The query will be in such a format called meta query. So whenever you want to query the post tables post meta, so post meta actually stores the value of actual post. So I want the relationship of WP post and WP post meta. So in that case, I'll be using a meta query. So this will pass the key and will pass the value and compare with the help of like. So in SQL query you can do a text search on the table with the help of like keyword, and that's what it is doing. And once it's all set, I'll again use the filter, use the hook called post search, and this is specifically for the title. So I'm searching with the help of percentage, and based on that the value will displayed on the table. So that's why free get post works just after the WP query is executed and the value is filtered, and from the value which got filtered from WP query, we'll use this free get post and manipulate the values and display the data in the table. That's how it works. And now it's time for the shortcode. Work of shortcode is very simple. We'll just use the WP query. Since we are not using the attribute, we'll just query directly. So this is a shortcode, and this is a custom post type, and this is the number of pages, the number of posts I need. If you need all, so -1, and the status is post. And once the query is set, we'll display the value. We'll get the value with the help of get post meta, and we'll just insert it in the HTML, and that's how it works. And you see in front end, so actually this is same as our shortcode, and if you refresh it, your one data will be displayed. Let me just show you adding another uh, with. So let's say Skynet Digital, and outside number of employee, location, and setting the featured image, and set featured image, click on publish, and now you will see the second one getting displayed. The hero of this video was actually two things. The first one was free get post, which we have already covered, and the second one is restrict manage post, that will allow you to add some more input field on the WP list table, like these text box and a filter button. So these are the HTML, and there are two more super global variable. This type now will check the custom post type name, and the page now is will check what page that need to have these input field. So type now and global. Also this will ensure this is not our plugin, this is not our this is our plugin, and you can see since these value are submitted through the, let me search agency here, AGNCY, and click on filter, and these are sending in the form of get request, so that's why we are using get. And once these are set, we say that before running WP query, run our custom query. So since it's post meta that are added with the help of Metabox, we'll use meta query, and that we will append to the WP query. So you can see meta query is blank, and if you find any value, append it to the meta query, and these meta query would get if there is any value, then set it. This set and also this set, this is for the search field, which you actually see here, the regular search field, that we have replaced it with set. So these are the two new functions that we have seen today, along with the compare. If it is raw query, we'll be just using this way how it's written. Since we have a feature which WordPress provides by default, we'll use this compare. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening.